home videos over Zoom to us, which is pretty fun.
Oh,
Seeing us
fun.
Yeah.
as kids, yeah.
I'm looking forward to making it so we can have watch parties in Realm. I think that's going to be super fun.
Yeah, me too, me too.
Okay, we're recording.
All right,
Auspicious
cool.
day. First inaugural competition for, remind me again, is it a background?
In this case, yeah, it's this realm location.
Okay.
Um, so come on up to the competition area. There are two entries. There's no path there yet, so you just have to walk through the competition announcement area.
Dane and I both walked around. That's great.
I walk around. I'm like, I don't know Realm well enough to know what I can walk through and what I can't. So I'm going
Yeah,
to treat it like reality.
that's the way I feel too. Treat it like reality. Okay.
Okay, so we are in
Ooh.
the competition area. So Dane has an entry and I have an entry. I linked both of our portals to our entries. Um, and I think that we're actually probably leaning a little bit more toward collaboration than competition.
Yeah,
But um, I'm kind of cool with just like taking turns exploring our realms. Did you want to go first, Dane? Do you care to?
sure. Sure. So do I walk into Dane over here?
Yeah, and we'll follow.
Follow me.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the starting spot. I don't know how to make a
Wow.
starting spot in my realm, but this is the starting spot. So my
Cool.
my working title for this layout is the ignition chamber, a place for turning ideas into action. And I decided to go with the Tron aesthetic of lots of geometric colored lines and boxes.
I
So
like
Cool.
it.
I like flowcharts. I like simple shapes. Um, and the inspiration for this came from I was working once upon a time at a community college, and one of the problems that the college continually faced was new students who wanted to enroll in the college were overwhelmed just at the geography of the college. They didn't know which building to start, which buildings to go to for classes or things like that. And I thought, what would be cool is if you had just colored lines and arrows around the college that made it very clear where you were supposed to go to do things. So I never pursued that with the college. It was just an idea in my head, but that was my thought here. So the competition, as I understood it, was to develop a background that could be used to structure conversations um, around competitions. And so I broke it into 4 areas. So you can see over here on the left is the way to the tavern, which is kind of the open-ended, just brainstorming, chatting area. It's not structured around any competitions. It's more just a social location. Then the green arrow here takes you to the bounty boards. The idea being that the bounty boards are the places where people would post competitions
Hmm.
and make public statements around what they have in mind, what they're trying to accomplish, and what they're looking for. And the bounty boards would be where people could go to sign up to join competitions.
Cool. Cool.
The observation deck is the place for keeping an eye on what's happening in real life in those competitions. So as a competition is running, the participants can post updates over at the observation deck, and anyone who's curious to see what's going on can head up that direction and get the current status on things.
Cool.
And then over to the right is the record halls, which would be the outcomes of the competitions. So follow me
To the tavern?
to the tavern.
Awesome.
Oh, well, I didn't know I could run. Do I double click left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I just accidentally did that. The Tavern, a place for brainstorming, bragging, and talking about random shit.
Cool. Cool. And it feels natural that it be brown. That's
Yep,
very taverny.
that was my thought. And so the color codedness, the colors don't have a lot of underlying meaning. They're just visually distinctive colors I went from. And then at each location, you can see you can either walk back the way you came to get to the starting point, or you've got pathways that lead you to the next spot in the sequence.
After long discussion, I have a good idea.
What's that?
After long discussion, I now have a good idea. Where do I go?
Right. Yeah, we just had a big discussion, and now we're going to post it, huh?
Yep. So up here are the bounty boards, the place where people post their competitions. And I came up with the idea that there's 5 main kinds of competitions. So up at the top here is probably the kind of competition we usually think of as a demonstrable deliverable, which happens to be this competition that we're in right now. So a demonstrable deliverable competition is something that has something at the end that you can show that can be reviewed or judged or whatever. So I give examples here of publishing a novel, starting a business, building a website. In this case, it could be creating a Realm background.
Cool.
That's contrasted with Sky's the Limit idea crafting, which is around theoretical competitions. And this circle happened because Rey was showing me the competitions the competition she had going with Chris that had to do with space flight and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so space flight's not going to be a demonstrable deliverable. We're not actually going to accomplish flight, but we still want a space for those kinds of competitions and discussions to happen. So in my head, that's a different kind of a competition that's more theoretical than practical.
Cool. Right. So exploring ideas and theories and concepts. Cool. That makes sense.
Down here, the monetary reward competitions are basically Realm's, in my mind, it would be Realm's version of Fiverr. It's where someone can say, I want this thing done and I'm going to pay $20 for it. Anyone who wants to come over here and do it can sign up. And so it's not a competition as much as it is a work request, but I see it falling in the same structure.
Yeah.
Personal declarations are kind of when you create a competition with yourself and you say, I'm going to start a diet or find a job or whatever. Then if you're the kind of person who's motivated by having a little bit of public feedback and observation on your commitments, you could post a diamond in there saying, this is who I am and this is what I'm declaring I'm going to commit to.
That's interesting.
And then this last one over here is kind of an extension of personal declarations. These two might end up actually working better together. The group commitments is basically the same thing as the personal declarations, but it's when you've got a group of people who together have a self-improvement goal or something they want to do on a regular basis and support one another in it.
Nice.
So these would be like bulletin boards, kind of, each one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I interpreted the concept of competition really broadly here and basically use the idea of competition to encompass anything that involves some kind of a goal and some kind of ongoing set of actions towards achieving that goal.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, I'm really curious to see how this merges.
And so then from here, we can head over to the observation deck. And the observation deck right now is just a big blank box. So the idea is once you've posted your diamonds over in the bounty boards area and you've made your commitments, then each team or each individual, based on however they want to, can come over here and post updates on how they're doing with things.
We went to the moon. That's a big one. Yeah.
Hey, Dwayne, I was asking Rey when I was talking with her last time, what's the G stand for when you create a diamond?
Ground.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't remember what this even has to do with a thought bubble diamond thing.
Yeah, it's a placeholder for an icon that's supposed to be like a down arrow or something like that to go to the ground.
Cool.
And then the final bit here is the record halls. And that's gold because that's like the color of trophies.
Right.
Ah, yes.
And there's two halls. There's the Hall of Fame for recognizing successful outcomes and the Hall of Fools for recognizing and appreciating failures.
That's not the word I'd use for appreciation, but okay. Cool.
Cool.
So there you go. That's it. Colored lines, rectangles, and a little bit of a workflow process.
Nice.
I'm going to zoom out for a second and try to get a screenshot of it.
It's very clean. I'm assuming this is a WebP format. Is that right?
I made it in Inkscape, so
Okay.
natively it's an SVG that I exported to a PNG.
Oh, it's a PNG. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason my thought process when I had posted asking about SVG support, part of that was just that I'm lazy and wanted to post it directly from Inkscape. But the other part of it is that SVGs are such tiny files compared to their size, especially when you're working in geometric shapes like this.
Yeah.
And so it'd be fun. And my thought process was, if this expands to have more boxes and lines, you could basically make this as large as you want in the virtual world without increasing the file size of the background.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, well, let me show you mine, and then that way we can kind of like begin combining the ideas. This is
Awesome.
very interesting.
Should we do back arrow in the browser?
Where do I go to get to yours?
Yeah, hit the back arrow.
In the
And what was
browser
that link?
rec. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just gonna run around. All right, I'll see you in there.
Okay, see there.
I'm coming. And there we go.
Okay.
Okay. I kind of wanted to be like, I don't want to say anything. I want you to explore and figure it out for yourself. But I should probably give you a tour.
Well, I can figure out the first step. I'm going to click me.
All right, what's this say? Welcome to the demo realm for a solarpunk themed collaboration competition realm. You are at the entrance of the exhibit area. There are 3 themes running at the moment, represented in the 3 following booths. You can skip the booths and proceed directly to the stadium and the sacred space where we celebrate our new winning ideas. We hope you enjoy the exhibits. Don't forget to leave feedback. All right.
Okay.
So the idea is that each one of these brown structures, or slightly yellowy structures in this case, are walls, and they're all going to be like actually jutting out from the ground, but they're not at the moment. So it's kind of like you've got these little tiny step platforms that on which would hypothetically be a little fake person with a little thought bubble that can like say something about the exhibit. And so because they're in this V formation, you'd be able to see the kind of like 2 plaques about what the exhibit is about. So it's like there are 3 themes. This one's exhibit 2, exhibit 1 is on the left, exhibit 3 is on the right.
Like a science fair sort of a presentation.
Yeah, kind of like a science fair presentation. And so then you go further up, and each one has a first side to the argument and an other side to the argument. So there would be this.
Respecting the wall here.
Thank you. Yeah, so there's kind of like, once again, that same kind of V shape, because we are at that 45-degree angle with our cameras onto the like realm itself. And so photos display best when they're either at that kind of angle or like flat. And so this is trying to like use up the best space for each one of these to be a little bit elaborated upon. And then as we go into the room that each one kind of represents, so we've got the first side of the argument and then the other side of the argument, and then there's kind of 4 components that people can submit. And then there's like a launch where each of these 4 ideas gets launched into like the competition area on a certain date. So each one of these 3 little islandy things um, have different launch dates, different colors, and have different topics for people to, yeah. Go ahead, Dane. That's a good idea.
I'm not sure if I understand what combo means in this case.
Let me show you right above. So each of these 4 little like color blobs is where there would be. I'm imagining like a portal. Someone would basically create like a little realm to demonstrate some aspect of like, let's say, solar panels, or um, maybe it has to do with competitions. Maybe it'd be like what Dane and I just did, you know? And so then they would be launched and it's like the whole combo, the quad combo gets launched into the competition area up here, where basically those 4 get placed into the first level. And so it'd be like entry 1, entry 2, entry 3, entry 4. And then 2 of them get combined. 2 of them get combined. And so it's kind of like, this is a little bit of a setup.
By combine, you mean taking like the good aspects of this and turning them
Yes.
into a new solution?
Yes. Taking the good aspects of both and then creating something new. And then the thing that's been created new gets a revision. So like more experts come on or whatever and just kind of transform it once. And then they transform this one once. And then these 2 get synthesized into this one. And then this one gets reimagined into this one. So then we've got kind of this process that they go through. And then hypothetically, after we've reimagined this one, this is it in actual theory. So this is it being reviewed by like anyone who wants to really review it. But ideally, it's like peer-reviewed material. It's scientific. You know, people have actually like done the research and they're like, yes, this could actually hold up in reality. And so once it's past this phase, it reaches our not Hall of Fame, but our sacred space, where it kind of gets held up as one of our relics from the competition zone.
Ooh, I like the tree.
I like the whole visual aesthetic. Like this does what I like, which is clean, clear lines and spaces, but it does it in a way that feels a lot more organic and artistic than the lines and boxes that I did. You've got a watercolory look with nice gradations of color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not terribly stretched. It is stretched, but not horribly. A little bit, yeah.
I think it's a really good balance between abstract and representative.
Cool. Yeah. So I think there's some elements where I feel like some from yours and some from mine could be brought together and then elaborated on.
I feel like what I'm seeing here in yours is fleshing out the whole middle space that's empty in mine, because the main structure in mine is about starting off competitions, and most of the complexity is in the bounty boards area, whereas this is around carrying how the competition is carried out and how people post progress and things throughout it.
Right.
In mine, I just have the observation deck, which is a big empty blue rectangle, and everything you have in here could be part of that.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting to have space for your specifically like the bounty boards. I don't know if these would be like if maybe these parts down here, the exhibit area would be kind of like the bounty board. It'd be like we've got 5, I've got 3. These could be increased in number.
And so intentionally, I'm not sure with the exhibits, I wasn't clear. Is each exhibit a separate competition, or is each exhibit 3 different approaches to a single competition?
I'm looking for each one to be their own thing. So like the one on the left, I think it launches February, and then the one here launches April, I think, and then the other one in June. So it's kind of like these 4 concepts get pushed through in a certain time frame. These ones get pushed through in a certain time frame, and then by the end, we're always getting that kind of final product idea format.
I see. So it's kind of like this main big island area up here is sort of um, like the showroom of the current competition. And I'm thinking of it like a museum, how museums will cycle from, um, I don't, what do you call it in a museum? You have a whole bunch of works that you show at once, and there's a word for that, but I can't think of it right now.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm imagining this area a little bit more like a tournament area
Mm-hmm.
where like each one of these is a portal, but hypothetically we might even be streaming it real time. Like I don't know how quickly we would be combining entry one and entry two into combo one, and who would be doing that? Like, is this the person who's done entry one and the person who's done entry two? The day that they put them there, like let's say you and me, for example, let's say you're entry one, I'm entry two, and we have combos. Does that mean that the day that we're entering, we're now combining our ideas the best we can and creating a combo idea together? And then that's like one day? Or is that 1 week of you and I joining forces after we have like put our ideas there? Don't know yet.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I'm imagining so using this current competition as an example of this, I'm imagining that you submitted your entry, I submitted my entry, and this conversation we're having right now is the combo conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically a combo conversation that would return a product hypothetically by the end, something that then could be revised either
Hmm.
by you and I or some other people who want to get involved, and yeah, it would turn out products.
What what application did you use to draw up this background?
I actually painted it by hand at first, and then I took a picture of it, and then I redid it on the iPad, and I'll probably redo it again because it probably
Oh,
should
cool.
be
So this is an
this
actual
one.
painting of painting in your home somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Lovely.
What do you think, Dane,
It's
about the
cool.
combo?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the combo idea is an assumption that I think would hold up in many cases, but might not in some, where like people are either unwilling or uh, like there may not be a path forward where a combo makes sense. Um, or like a combo may diminish the idea somehow if it's a really simple idea.
Hmm.
Um, Trying to make it into more might add convoluted steps to it. I don't know, but I do like the idea because I think in many competitions the idea of synthesis and combining ideas is not well represented. It's usually treated as uh, like like ideas are owned, right? And like so it's like there's a clear boundary around, well, this is that person's idea, this is that person's idea, and we don't dare combine them because they have boundaries. So I like that. I like the presentation as a very suggestive of sort of a an evolutionary process. Get the ideas
Right.
out there, work on combining them if possible, revise them, synthesize them. That's cool.
So
Interesting.
I've got just a couple of minutes right now. I've got something at 2:30 I've got to leave for.
Okay.
What where do we want to go to from here with this?
I love that question. That's what I want to know too. Let's see. Well, yeah, so I would rather combine than like outright be like one of us won. It feels like we're both kind of like, here's our best ideas. And then, so I would like to maybe take some of your ideas and try to integrate them into something like this. And then I need a bit of time to do that. So
Mhm.
um, maybe I will try to like, is it okay if I just like take some of your ideas, or do you want to have a
Yeah.
follow-up conversation to try to combine them more appropriately or anything like that?
So I think if you have a vision for an idea for how to take some of what I had done and incorporate it into this, go ahead and run with it. And then I'd love to see what you create with that. If you're confused or not seeing how those ideas connect together, then we could talk about it some more. But it sounds like you've got an idea for how to make those things come together.
Somewhat, and then definitely have question marks, but I think I could kind of figure it out.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Then let's do that and check back in, say next weekend.
sure, that should work. That'd be cool, and then maybe we can invite Chris too to kind of like see the progress, and he might be really interested in that side of things. That'd be cool.
Cool. I'll publish this video, assuming the audio all checked out. And it's
Right on.
useful. I think it's a great intro to what you both are doing. This is really cool.
Cool. All right.
Great use of
Well,
Relm.
thank you for entering,
Thank you
Dane.
for inviting me to get involved with this.
That was
Yeah.
really helpful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to you both
Okay,
soon.
for sure.
All right. Yeah.
See you later then.